Welcome to the garden today. I know yesterday we started preparing this to grow carrots. I got it wet down good. As you can see, you don't want it to all be like this once you plant the seeds, so that kind of gives you an indication of what you don't want to have happen. That's showing that's dried up. So now we're going to plant the seeds, and I'm going to take this rake. I'm going to see how this works. And all I want to do is roughen this stuff up just a little bit. Okay, nothing big, and actually I really want to go that way with it because that's they come this way. They come this way. And all we're trying to do is just roughen that up so when I put the seeds out there, they get covered. You don't need to go real deep. I know a lot of people, I was hoping that fur up, but it won't. Let me try this. That does a little bit better job. But because this seed almost come whenever you water it down. Now, one reason I do it a little bit is once I water it, I don't want all the seeds running down to one end. Kind of break up some of the clods, which I know what these clods are. Anyway, kind of got it roughened up. Make sure you don't step on your rake, it hurts. And like I said, that's the Yaya. It's a hybrid carrot seed. You want to get a carrot seed that's going to germinate and go ahead and produce early. If you're trying to get it, because these here in the last video I talked about, I want to get these to make before winter sets in. So if I wasn't, I'd probably go with one of the open pollinated. They're just cheaper. And there's nothing wrong with hybrid seeds. And just put in a few. I mean, I don't want to waste seeds, but you don't want them real thick either. Because all a hybrid seed is, and some people don't know, actually you got two different parents. You breed those two together, and it produces a better plant than what the other two were. So in this case, probably get some more disease resistance. The main thing we're getting, faster producing one. It's going to make quicker. And all open pollinated seeds start out as hybrids. So don't think that, it's a natural selection. Or not natural selection, but it's a natural process. You get a plant from this one and pollen from this one and the stamen from the other one. They cross pollinate. It produces a plant, and that's what you use. It's all natural in the way that they do it. And then I'm just going to kind of come through here and kind of pat this down just a little bit. Give it good contact. Trying to so that seed won't move when I water it. And like I say, you're going to have to water this at least twice a day for the weather we're in right now. It decided to turn hot again. Pretty cool weather last weekend. Pretty nice. This weekend, no, it's hot. So I got it done, and then I'll take this. I am using this because I don't want a lot of, movement in the seed. So you don't want to soak it too much, because then all the seeds are going to run downhill, which is that way, and you have a bunch of seeds down there and none up here. So just try to gently water this in. But I've already got it wet down deep, so I don't have to do a whole lot of watering. And you're just trying to keep this wet. It would really be nice if you could do this and water this when you're going to have a couple of days of rain. Cloudy weather, not so hot, not 97, 98 degrees. I may have a little bit of a problem too with this being too hot for the seeds to germinate. That's part of the reason you wait till October to seed them. But we're gonna give it a try. I know it can be done because I know the guy that did it. But anyway, going over here, we'll finish the tour of the garden we started the other day. This is the other side of my house, the front yard. This is a habanada. It's a heatless habanero pepper, and so it's sweet. It may have a tinge of heat to it, but they're saying it's heatless, so it's not gonna have very much at all. I think this is Jimmy Nardello. That's the one that, it's the yellow pequeno. It's supposed to be heatless, but Wassie's got some heat to it, so she didn't like it too well, so I've been giving it to the neighbors. And over here is a sweet banana, and it usually makes really well. They've been using it, make jambalaya and things of that nature, so it doesn't have that many on it. But it will make, when, like, the problem you have with your bell peppers is they have a tendency for not making during the summer, where your banana peppers a lot of times will. So it's just a really good producing banana one. I think there's Anaheim that also makes, or Cubanelle. Cubanelle is another one that she didn't like the flavor quite as much, but it also produces a lot more in the summertime. So problem with bell peppers is it requires pretty specific low and high temperature from the set. So a lot of times you get a set in the spring and you get a set in the fall. Now I had one guy one time I was talking to, and he said, well, I babied those bell peppers all the way up to the fall of the year. They hadn't made any, so I pulled them all up. And I looked at them and said, they were just fixing to make again. You know, you brought them through the summer and you gave up on them right before they started producing. He said, you serious? I said, yeah. You know, you got to live and learn. But, you know, technically he was fixing to go through that next period. He just gave up on it. So don't give up on plants too early. If they're still growing, they're still, you know, alive. A lot of times once, you know, we're going to hit that day that it's going to break. It's probably still 2-3 weeks away. Now next week's supposed to be a lot cooler. We're supposed to get down to 60s at night. But right now it's hot. But the trees already kind of noticed it. You're going to start seeing them notice it. Fall's in the air, kind of. It's just, we're just a little bit early. So it's going to break. We're getting close, just not quite there yet. This here is the pineapple guava. Need to water it again because it's in a small pot. It has to be watered more often. Even the strawberry guava that I have, it's actually put on some more fruit. So it's a pretty good producer. So it's doing pretty well. You got another one up here. So, and then over here we have the pineapple. Now if you buy a pineapple at the store, you want to find out if you want to produce fruit. I bought this one, the little pineapple was about this size. I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy this thing. Because I started trying to grow a pineapple. I thought, well, I want to have one so I can prove, or at least say I have made a pineapple. That's as big as they get. Did not know that. Also, these aren't edible anyway. Even if it's a little bit bigger one, they say they're really not edible because they got some type of stuff in it that can make you sick. People are allergic to it. A lot of people are allergic to it, but they are pretty. They are very stickery. If it wasn't for the pot, I'd get rid of it. I like the pot. I paid money for that pot. I'm tight. If the pot comes with the plant I planted, don't think much of it. That pot I paid money for. I probably paid $10 for that pot. So I still got it. Don't plant things you don't think you may want in pots that you don't want to get rid of, because then what do I do with it? I'll just throw it away. I mean, I paid probably 20 bucks for the plant starting out. Getting away a lot of them, but still. Anyway, this is loquat. Is it already starting? Okay, it's loquat, and right there, it's already starting to put up blooms. See, fall's coming. It knows it. That's the little blooms just starting out on it, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Yeah, it is. Right there. So, and it'll bloom out. You'll produce the fruit, and you got to carry that fruit all the way to March, and then they start ripening. March, April, right in there. So, you know, it's hot now. It's not going to be a problem, but once it gets really cold, if the temperature drops below 26 to 28 degrees, so if it's going to drop below 30 degrees, I got to put these in the garage. That's the problem I got with the pineapples. I got so many pineapples. I've got so little room in that garage. So I've got, you know, these loquats have to go into it. The satsumas and stuff have to go in there. These lychee tree has to go in there. It's starting to grow too. No growth on it. So all these things are starting to, you know, I have to put in. Now, the guavas I'm probably not going to have to. They can take temperatures down, so I can probably just put them up against the house and that'll be okay. I've debated whether I want to put them in the ground or not. For the pineapple guava, the strawberry guava is not near as hardy, but these pineapple guavas are supposed to be down in the teens, so they should be okay. Day before yesterday, this thing was in bad shape because it got really dry and I did water it and it did pop back up. The reason it looks this way is just because I let it get dry. You know, it doesn't mind the heat, but it's not drought tolerant. So just always remember that if you ever do get a cutting or whatever, they do not like being dried up. So, and again, some of the herbs, oregano, and got some mints over there, some thyme, some basil. Probably need to put closer to the door so my wife can see it so she can remember to do some stuff with them. She says she does it, but I never do see it. Here is, I never can say the name of this, so I'm just going to show it. That one there, it's the one that's called the Sumo Mandarin that you see at the store. It's the same family, not necessarily the same variety. This one here, this poor old thing just don't look good. I'm going to spray it again. It does get us a little flush of growth. I think that's some type of nutrient deficiency, but I've been fertilizing it like you should. Could be bugs, worms, who knows. Moved it so if in case there's a root from the tree, didn't really hear any roots, so I think I'm okay. Here's the other pomelo. They're just getting bigger and bigger. Hope they make. It is pulling the tree over some. Probably shouldn't do that. But who knows, that might be the only one I get. I have to water these again today. It's so hot. And there's a good showing of the leaf miners that's in there. There's a little worm in there. In fact, there's a little worm, I think, is right there. Is that him? He's no more. Yeah, I think there's a worm right there. That one's dead. And there's none right there. See that little bitty worm? Yeah, get in there and see it. He ain't no more. Anyway, he's a new one. I know I need to spray it down with the oil and see if I can kind of control those. We've got the Kishu here. It's that little small seedless mandarin. This one here. This Sangranelli blood orange. I will say on these eggplants, and I haven't taken care of this, and I think I even forgot to water it the other day. These long eggplants make better than those bigger ones that you see in the store. So like this one here, they call it Japanese long, but the longer ones actually, and they're actually the skin on them is not near as tough. They're just a better. They don't store as well, so that's why you don't see them in the store as much. But you know, it's kind of like the difference between head lettuce and leaf lettuce. Leaf lettuce is healthier for you. It's got more flavor to it, but it doesn't store well, so you get the head lettuce. And really, head lettuce, you know, the iceberg lettuce is lower nutrition, lower flavor. It's crispy, but that's it. So it's really an inferior lettuce. Well, that's kind of the same thing with eggplant. That's a superior eggplant there. It just doesn't keep in the stores as well, so you don't see it as much. One thing I'll show you on the back of these leaves, you're seeing this trailing. Well, that could be one that's died. But sometimes I know there's some of it has, well, I'm not seeing it now that I'm talking about it. There's a black stuff that gets on it. That's probably due to aphids. So that means they got aphids on them. This here is going to be the Valencia orange. And it's made a lot of oranges this year. So this size tree, I don't mind it. They're not getting that big. You can see where the leaf, this leaf here, was sitting over it just like that. So you got that little imprint of the leaf. This here's a lemonade tree. I can't believe things dried up so much. Ah, I see now why. Gotta keep up on that. Because right here, all these roots, what's inside this pot. Oh, and fire ants too. And they got double duty on this one. So I couldn't remind me before we go back in. See all those fire ants is coming up here? So I've got fire ants in here, and I've got roots in here, and that's what's making this thing look so droopy. So if you're gonna be doing your citrus like I'm doing it, keep an eye, especially up by big trees, on that. Keep an eye on fire ants. They would get in there and destroy the plant too. So here's the other lychee tree. It's called Sweetheart. It's the first one I got. I do think you need to get 2 different varieties when you do lychees, or 2 seedlings to really make them pollinate correctly. Because this year we had a lot of unpollinated fruit. That one over there didn't really pollinate or that much pollen this year, so I think that was the reason why. You'll get a few of the fruit that'll be pollinated, and that'll be the bigger fruit that's got seed in them, but and they actually taste better. But you know, you won't get. It's just like a peach tree. If you have one peach tree, yeah, they take almost all peach trees are self-pollinating, but they pollinate better with another one. So it's kind of a, you know, it's almost like the rabbit-eye blueberries. They'll produce a few blueberries, even with just one plant, but not near as many as if you get 2 or 3 other plants. But anyway, let's go up over here to the other one. Other part of the garden. And yeah, I need to water again. And this here, somebody broke that. That's the Flat Wonder peach. That's the Roddenberry peach there. We're looking over here at our blueberries. I am getting some good growth on that, and I'm glad, because that's where they're going to put the fruit. So that's going well. And I'm pretty sure I moved this one. I think I moved all my blueberries. Yeah. And just move them a little bit. You don't have to move very far, because if that's roots are there, you're going to feel it. This is O'Neill. It's putting on new growth also. This is the one that has so many roots in it. And I did do away with the roots. It didn't have any fire ants in it. It's not looking good. This thing's been trying to die on me for a couple, 3 years. Maybe 4 or 5 years. I've kept it alive. It's made a little bit of fruit, but not much. This is Sweet Crisp. You're starting to see these leaves. When that leaves are like that, it's probably pH is getting too high, so it's causing nutrient problems. So when I do water this evening, I'll put some vinegar in the water, trying to get that pH down a little bit. You should use sulfuric acid, but I don't have any. It's battery acid you can use, and it will get the pH down. And actually that keeps it down permanent. From what I've been told, the vinegar doesn't last very long, but I'm not trying for a long term. And I am putting in the ammonium sulfate, which will give it some sulfur, which should bring it down over time. The best way to do that is to go ahead and add sulfuric acid to your water, get it down to around 5.5, about 5.0 or whatever, 4.5 to 5.5, and that will take care of this. But when you're looking at your pots, here's a deal right here. You see that coming out the hole like that? That's fire ants. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Little fire ants. So what I do, I sprinkle fire ant bait around here, or fire ant poison. That way I never have to actually put it in the pot itself, so you know I'm not getting the poison from the fire ants, because it's staying outside the pots. That's the good thing about growing pots. If you had a raised bed, it'd be tougher. But you can't. There is a stuff called Come and Get It. I know Haas Tool sells it. That works well, and it is labeled for vegetable gardens, because all it's got the bait, and then it also has spinosad, so that will help kill the ants. Here's a blueberry that I planted this year. It was looking really good, but now it's starting to show a little bit of there, but it's also got some good ones too, so it's not bad. The corn, it's starting to produce. You see no corn up there. It's putting its ears on it. It's probably past the time that you could eat it if you're just gonna grow it for your own, if you're gonna use it for sweet corn or roasting ears. Another corn in there. Doesn't look real great. It did dry out one day, and it's got a lot of wasps flying around. Okay, leave those alone. One thing I'll say, wasps get mean in the fall. So once it starts cooling off a little bit and you had wasps that's been kind of flying around, they've been leaving you alone, beware, because they will attack you in the fall. They won't attack you during the spring and summer a lot of times, but once that season starts changing in the fall, they get mean. I don't know if they're having to hibernate or fixing to die or what, but here's some of the figs growing here. I'm trying to get back alive. I think that's a magnesium problem, so we'll see. Let's see how much. And just keeping these things wet enough, this can be difficult. These are rose bushes. I deadheaded those the other day. Missed one. And they've done okay with me. That one over there is kind of flopped over. I need to straighten it out. Chickens have been up here again. But I guess the last thing I'll kind of show, let's go look at the, there's some other peach trees. My idea with these peach trees here is these are early blooming peach trees, early ripening peach trees. And my idea was I'll plant them in here. If they set the fruit, then I could take them inside kind of loquats if we had a late freeze. The problem is I'm running out of space. Over here we're seeing, this is one of the loquats I have in ground, and it's got the blooms on it too. It did make some last year, didn't it? Or year before last? Year before last. So, and it was one, it made the year before last, and it was funny because, you know, it's putting blooms on now. And we got a really cold Christmas freeze, and I didn't even go look at them after that because I thought, okay, everything's dead. It got down to low teens. They're all died. And lo and behold, about March, I looked and there was some fruit on the tree. So all I could figure out was that it made a few blooms after that freeze and bloomed out and pollinated and produced some fruit. So that could also be it didn't do that last year, but it did that the year before last. So sometimes that might be okay if you get an early freeze, but the other fruits have things a little bit later and it just didn't. These are kind of like apricots in Central Texas. Loquats will make about every third year, fourth year if you're lucky. So just realize that. That's why I got mine in pots, because I'm trying to get some each year. But anyway, thanks for watching. It's hot, we're gonna get back in. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to be doing another video of the in-ground gardening, but that'll probably come out in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.